You guys, what a whirlwind 4 weeks it's been. I know it's been so long since I've posted. I've been working on music, I've been traveling, I've been preparing for my last quarter ever as a college student. What the hell? Some of you might not even know I go to Northwestern. There's one video on my channel where I talk about it, so some of you might not know. But hey, I'm Leah. I'm rebranding a little bit, so my personal Instagram is now gonna be my Instagram that you can go follow. Leah Leica is now my headquarters Instagram. So excited for this new chapter. Leah's Lair is what that one's gonna be called now. So thank you for everyone who's been following Leah Leica. But Leah's Lair is now the new headquarters for everything Leah Leica. So thank you so much for all 755 of you that have subscribed so far. It means the world to me, and I cannot wait to release the music that I've been working on to all of you. Without further ado, let's get into this LA vlog. I'll see you guys. Hey guys, I look really tired because I am, but I am going to LA in a few hours to go record with John McLucas again. I'm so beyond excited. I still have a lot to pack. I've been on the floor right there and I have laundry I still have to put away. Pulling an all-nighter so I get up for my flight. I can't believe I'm gonna be in LA this time tomorrow. It's so crazy. So take you along with me. I will hopefully look less rough in the morning. See you guys in LA.
Hey guys, it's voiceover Liana here. So it was quite a journey. It was so early. It was 2 flights. It was a red eye to start and then like an hour layover in Minneapolis. So that was such a time. I slept for most of the first flight, but I tried to keep my eyes open the second flight because I knew the scenery would be beautiful. So today was a beautiful day in LA. So when we touched down, I was so excited to see the sun. I was in Chicago for the whole winter, so it was, you know, not very sunny. And I had to take the bus to the Uber area. It's really not that bad, but I just remember the first time I went to LAX, I was so scared that I didn't know where to go, and I had already called an Uber and I was like, oh my god, it's gonna leave without me. But yeah, so I always have a little bit of a panic attack getting there, but clearly we're in a car, we got there, I'm not flying all of a sudden. And I love the scenery in LA. I know it's probably controversial and people are just like, it's just there, you know, like get over it. But it must be the East Coast girly in me. It's just so different and my brain loves it because it's so different and green. And I love seeing the hills. I know they're not mountains, the hills all around. And even, you know, the walls on the highway are prettier than the ones in New York, so I was just living for it. And again, I'd been there before, but this was the first time I was kind of able to enjoy it. So I went to Santa Monica first because I'd never been, and I just wanted to take a solo day, and I felt like that was one of the easiest places to do that. So I had to take a beautiful video of this coffee. Hello, that little teacup is like me. So then I spent a lot of time journaling, waiting for my food to come, because I had probably the most hectic and emotionally taxing 72 hours I had ever had in my life. And I really needed to, you know, write about it. And I think this is kind of where I felt like this weekend would become a very important one for me to look back on in my life, which sounds like a huge statement to say, but I really learned a lot this weekend, and it all started with this moment right here. With what I was writing about, I realized I'm much stronger than I think I gave myself credit for. I had never been able to compartmentalize my emotions before. If I was feeling something, I have to feel it, and even if I had a test, if I had work, if I had something, I had a really hard time, you know, putting it aside to deal with later when I have time. And that's not to say in the unhealthy way, that's to say like, you need to work now, you know, like, so you can't be crying right now. I had been saving up for this weekend for 2 years, so it was a really important weekend for me to finally be able to write the music that I've been wanting to write my whole life. And something that happened 72 hours before that 2 years ago I had no idea would even be a possibility. You know, I didn't want to let that ruin this weekend for me. So I really had to compartmentalize everything that I was going through and deal with it in a healthy way, but still be able to work when I needed to work. So that was something I really learned this weekend. And there were just some other beautiful moments I wanted to share, like just some of these pictures that I took. And even on the journeys, like I just found, as I said, like very mundane things. Like that's why I have so many shots of the drives, because it was just so beautiful to me. It was magical that I was even here, that I was even able to be present for this weekend. That was a really important experience for me, to be able to be vulnerable and talk about these big things that had happened, and also be able to put it into song in a way that still keeps in mind everyone involved in the situation. But now to the meat of the vlog. So day 1 of recording, we just sat there for like 3-4 hours straight and just wrote songs. And that was probably the most intense session I'd ever had. It was still very fun. I was so tired from, the flight the day before, but we really got some amazing stuff written. And it was tough. It wasn't all, sunshine and roses, because the first day, the first thing we wrote was probably one of the most emotional songs I've written in a while. And if you've listened to any of my other music, they're pretty emotional anyway, so that's definitely saying something. So we took a much needed coffee break. But this mural, we were laughing at it because John was like, the big elephant's you, and then the small one is one of your songs, so I had to take a picture. And then there were some crazy billboards, like, I was like, are you serious? Like, that's crazy. So yeah, so then I made John and Michelle be in the vlog. They were both great sports. John was like, I'll give you some slow-mo. But it was a really, really fun little excursion we had. We were talking about some things that I had wanted to work on since last time, and I was worried, with imposter syndrome and everything, that I didn't, bring all that to fruition, but it was really validating to talk to them and them to be like, no, like, girl, we can see how much you've done. So I think that was a really good reminder for me to this weekend that I really have started coming into my own, and I should be proud of that. And I feel like it's hard as women to say that, like, you're proud of how much work you're putting in or something, because it almost feels conceited. But I thought it was a really good reminder for me to remember that about this weekend.
So we're taking a break from composing, so I am going to lock in and do some homework because it's finals week, baby. So let's do it. So yes, it was time for me to lock in, and what's funny is part of my finals for that week, oh girl, don't drop your camera. Part of my finals for that week was literally composing for a movie. So that's what I was doing here, and that is why I am doing the like anxiety lip bite the whole time, because I was like, what the hell? Like this project was really fun, but also it kept crashing, so I didn't know what to do, and I ended up literally getting this in at the 11th hour. But we got it in, and that's what matters. So yes, I did get A's on all my finals, so pat. But yes, so I was still doing homework while I was on this trip to make it even more hectic. Yeah, this was my finals week, so that was pretty crazy. So then it was time for the final day, day 3. And this was the day that we were going to record lead vocals. So what that means is everything that you hear as the melody. So we had already written all the melodies the day before, and we had sketches of them, but we needed, the main track, which I felt a lot of pressure for because I wanted my voice to be on. I wanted this to really show my prowess as a singer, and I'm very, in my head about my voice sometimes, and so I just wanted to be able to listen to these back and know that even without any Melodyne or anything, I'd be proud of how I sang. So I put on a fit that I felt like was like a show fit. I did my makeup. I wanted to feel the part. And so then we got right to work, and
John gave me some time to just warm up, which was what I was doing, and just practice some of the melodies, because we had a couple options for some of the songs. And then it was time to get to work. And it was a lot of work, and I can't wait until you can hear what is going on in these clips, because I don't want to give too much away, but you can see us both vibing out. So that should give you a good inkling of what's to come very soon. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss when I do release the music. And go follow me on TikTok and Instagram as well. And this was a really cool thing to capture. I will turn the sound on for this part. This was the first time both of us listened to one of the songs all the way through. And it was a really, really special moment for us, because we were just so excited that everything came to fruition.
Let's party.
Let's party.
I'll roll the dice, tell you something on my mind. You say wrong time, you're going out again tonight, but baby,
Bro,
wow.
damn.
Jesus,
That's
3.
a thing.
So after that, it was time to go home. So hopped on a plane at LAX with my dreams on my phone. Yes, I also was like, this is crazy. Why is my monogram at the Starbucks in LAX? Yeah, I kind of thought that was really funny, so I had to take a picture of it. We got that content out real quick, as you probably saw on my TikTok. Again, go follow her. This plane ride was a little more somber, I feel, because now that the high of the weekend was over, the things that happened before kind of came crashing down. And, you know, I did try a caribou coffee though for the first time. That was slay. It was actually pretty good. I've seen so many people on like YouTube like drink these in their vlogs, and I was like, wait, this is so funny. So now I'm drinking one in my vlog. But yeah, everything kind of came crashing down. As I said, I was able to separate it for this weekend so I could focus on the songs. But then it kind of hit me there. So then I got back to Chicago, and I had to go straight from the airport to work on finals. And that was so hectic. And then a day and a half later, I left for home, and I got to meet my new baby brother, his little cute kitty named Russia. I think he looks like the Grinch. Comment below if you agree. So it was a very gratifying weekend, but also a very tough one. I thought I'd share some of that so you have a little context for when these songs come out, but also so you know, like, you can get through it, bro. Like, sometimes you just gotta say, F it, we ball, and you just gotta ball. And that's kind of what this weekend was. I was like, if 2 years ago me, who saved up for this, heard that I was like not even thinking of going anymore, girl, she would have been so mad. So thank you all so much for your patience in me getting this video to you. I will be posting more consistently. I'm sorry, I will be posting more consistently now that I am finally on the mend. So please like, subscribe, share, do all the things, and thank you so much for your support. Bye guys.